Okay, this is a continuation. We've been talking Titleist. They've got a lot of nice new stuff out. A lot of people have been asking about, you know, what would be best for me. So we're going to dive into why you may want to choose an iron versus a driving iron versus a hybrid.
For sure. So we're gonna kind of test that today. And I think the three options you really have with Titleist, which is nice, is they've multiple options. You can go with the T200 build, which is a smaller driving iron. You can go with the U505, which is a much larger profile, more of an off the tee golf club, which is almost in between a hybrid. It's kind of like a crossover. And then you can go to a hybrid. So like everybody knows now, you've got TSR, TSR2, TSR3. So one's a little larger, launched a little higher. We're gonna start with TSR2. That's what Matt's always been good with. But we're gonna kind of compare and discuss why you would use this versus this versus this. So we'll start with T200 and then we'll kind of go up from there. So these are all 3-iron lofts. So you've got the T200 3-iron there, and then we've got a couple others as well.
Yeah, so I mean, when I set down the T200, nice compact head.
For sure, for a 3-iron.
For a 3-iron, it looks even more compact because the shaft is long. So when you're watching our other videos, I hit the T200 7-iron, which looked bigger relative to the other clubs. When you compare it to the T100, it looks big.
Yeah.
When you slap it on a 4-iron or a 3-iron shaft, it's significantly smaller.
Yeah, it gets
just because it's further away. So in that case, bigger is often helpful.
Yeah, more people definitely like seeing that because they see the forgiveness and they want to know that they're going to have some help. So let's try this guy here, and then we'll talk about.
So let's smack a 3-iron. Yeah. Let me just try and give you some club face here.
Good swing.
Yeah, I hit that good.
That was solid.
That's a really good 3-iron for me.
Fantastic.
That's really good.
That's really good. So again, if you watched our other video, which please do if you do, that's very comparable with what the T350 4-iron was doing.
Yeah.
Which makes sense. I mean, that's where we see something that has a bigger body, has a little bit more kind of tech to it, go a little further, but that was fantastic. I mean, I think the thing for Matt too with this is like, this club has to go a certain distance for it to be viable in your bag, but the misses have to be viable. And I think that's where I talk about this a lot with driving irons. And like, some people just aren't comfortable hitting a driving iron on 400-yard par 4 because like, well, what if I miss it?
So, and that would be me. So for example, I mean, that one there was buttoned.
It's great.
And if I could do that all day long, I wouldn't even think twice. I'd say, yeah, this looks better and makes me feel like I'm a good player. And
yeah, there's more work.
However, if I neck this or if I toe jam it or something, it's going to go 60 yards shorter. When I'm under the gun, when I'm trying to, play Mark for that big $5 game we have, I can't afford to have something that I miss that leaves me that far away. So I would likely opt for something that's going to give me a little bit more help. Yeah. So let's go to...
Absolutely. So let's go to 505.
Okay.
So this is a profile that it's definitely larger. I mean, what I think about it is the first one was okay. I'm not going to say it was an amazing product, but they've turned it into an amazing product. And the way that they've done that is shaping of the build of it. So the sole is much different. So it's big, but the way it's cambered, it gets through the turf a lot better.
They've rounded it more.
They've rounded it more. So basically it comes more to a point. So there's less turf interaction ideally. You'll see the blade length is longer.
Yep.
It's a shorter, there's the top portion of the face is not quite as high. So it has that more like streamlined, it looks like it's going to launch in the air design, right?
So what they've done well here is, again, the driving iron blends well with the rest of the irons. So when you're taking a look at the set and you're putting in, it doesn't look like this enormously different golf club.
Absolutely.
Face is bigger, it's got a bigger fat ass on it, but okay.
So exactly. So anyways, let's try this thing out. So we'll see what we get out of that. Last one was about 12 degrees of launch, 233 carry, 250 total. That sounded like it was hit.
Yeah, I was hit okay.
Yeah.
I felt like I may have necked it a hair.
Yeah, it didn't look like you didn't strike it as well as you struck the T200, but because we know that with efficiency, but it went further.
So the nice thing is, but again, I mishit this a little bit.
Yeah.
If I hit the T200 like that, it's shit city.
Yeah, absolutely.
I'm not good enough to play the T200 when it matters.
I agree.
So right away I look at that and I go, okay, The height, I mishit it, so the height wasn't quite there.
Yeah.
But the ball speed was still pretty solid.
Pretty darn good.
The ball came off hot. Like, that goes to show that wasn't a pure strike.
No.
And that's still very golfable.
Yeah, exactly. And I think like for why I said too originally when I was kind of showcasing them is like, it's easier to hit this thing off a tee, right? Matt hit that off the ground, which is impressive. And I think like for me, it's a big profile to hit off the ground. I got to be very conscious, but off a tee, if there's nothing to kind of get in the way, this thing is crazy long. Like if you launch it anything above 10, 12 degrees like Matt did, it's not going to spin. So you're going to hit it a long, long way. And I think you don't have to get perfect ball speeds out of that when the launch mechanics are so good. So for that person at home that you want something that's more of a bullet that just kind of hits the fairway, this is not going to be like a hybrid, right? I mean, some people might hit it with spin, but I think the majority of people are going to run it out like that 27 yards. You're generally not going into a green with that. So it's more of an off the tee, find a fairway on a shorter par 4. Like I said earlier, like if Matt's hitting a driving iron 250 to 260, there's not a par 4 that's below 400 yards that he needs to hit driver.
This is showcasing that, you know, for fast people, this can still help get the ball in the air, gives you a bit more forgiveness than what you'd see in the 200. Definitely something to consider.
Absolutely.
I have really never been the greatest with a driving iron as well. So for me, when an iron gets a fatter sole, I struggle. Which is why for me, generally a hybrid's a better option. So
for sure. Yeah, so let's test that now and see. So, and again, I think for the most part, people know this, but a driving iron comes out a little bit lower. The thing that people don't think about though is driving irons and hybrids are like putters in the sense of a blade putter, when you mishit it, it's not going to get there, but it'll go straight. If you mishit a mallet putter, it'll get there, but it'll go more offline. Same thing happens with hybrids and driving irons. So if Matt misses a T200 or U505, it'll go relatively straight unless you hook the thing. But if you hit this thing and you miss it at toey or heely, it'll probably get there directionally, but distance-wise, but directionally it's going to be a little bit off. It's generally the idea. So
now,
let's see. So this is actually a very viable option for Matt's bag. He plays a hybrid right now that he hits phenomenally well. Like, I don't want to talk about it too much because I'm scared the good juju is going to go away, but it's ridiculous, guys.
When I set it down, what I like, sits shallow. Titleist does a very good job of very simple faces, so they don't look busy.
No, it's not like
to me, just I set it down, I go, oh, this looks like it'll launch the ball high and be easy to use, which is what I want, especially in a 3-iron.
Absolutely.
Or a 3 hybrid, rather.
Yeah. All right, so let's give it a whack.
Let's give it a swap, see what we get.
Came off like a rocket.
So that I towed.
Yeah.
Like I barely hit the golf ball.
That went a mile.
And that went a mile.
So we see launch was way down. And that's where efficiency is perfect there. Spin's actually not crazy low for that shot. I mean, there are some manufacturers with hybrids that and that's part of the reason why I actually don't play one is because I spin it way too low. I can't get 3,300 spin on a turnover like that. So what ends up happening is I will roll it out 40 yards all the time. And
you want me to give you one more here?
Please do. Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, you know what? Let's hit it one more time because I think like
as a first take.
You hit those other two pretty darn good. So let's just see if we can't.
So the hybrid, which generally makes me feel a little bit more comfortable.
Yeah.
Let's see if I can get one in the air here.
Yeah. Wow. Yeah, honestly, if I'm fitting you right now, and I know I'm not, but I'm telling you to play this 100% of the time.
So that's the difference, and this is, again, I have friends who are very good players who can't hit a hybrid to save their life.
For sure, and I'm one of them.
A hybrid totally fits. Yeah, you play hybrids like a dog.
I'm terrible.
It's just not for you.
Yeah.
But again, that thing launched plenty high, peak height was higher, ball speed was higher, it spun enough, it's just bang, bang, bang. It's all of those things that, for me, it's by far better than a driving iron.
Absolutely.
I've always wanted to be able to play a driving iron because the bag looks cool, but it doesn't look cool when you're the high guy in the group and you're paying out after the game.
And the grass is always greener, guys, because what he said when he put that down is, I feel like I can launch this. I grew up, I could always hit it high. So something that looks like I'm going to hit it low is my comfort zone. The opposite for Matt. So you have to look at yourself and what DNA are you? I prefer hitting a low chasing shot. Like if I could play golf in Scotland every single day, I would. Matt has the ability to hit it low pretty consistently. He struggles more hitting it higher. So something that looks like it's going to go higher for him, instantly he's going to have a relationship with. So, I mean, that went way further than what the driving irons were going because he hit it more solidly. again, for you at home, a hybrid is significantly easier to get the most ball speed out of than it is a driving iron. So I think something to look at too is you're probably going to swing a hybrid shaft faster. It is lighter. Generally, you get a little bit more speed out of it. So you see Matt's club head speed went up to 103.5 there, and just perfect numbers.
That went well.
Yeah, that was great.
Clear winner for me.
For sure.
Is the hybrid.
Absolutely. Definitely the best performer.
Yeah, by all means. That's not to say it'll be that way for everybody. This would be the worst.
Very different for us. Yeah, I think I would be on the opposite end of the spectrum.
Yeah, exactly. So long story short, what it means is everybody's got to get fit because everybody's going to react and play differently.
Everybody has different needs, so make sure that you test them, right? I mean, it's definitely something that when someone comes in and asks me as a fitter, hey, what should I play? It's a great conversation. It's something that we're definitely going to kind of talk about, and every player is going to be a little bit different. So obviously next time you're in the area, hit us up, and we're happy to kind of help you with this question, because it's a question we get a lot. So hopefully we can help you answer it. We answered it for Matt today. Obviously hybrid is his go-to weapon in the long irons there, and for good reason. He hits it great. So please obviously subscribe.
For the love of God, subscribe.